All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, it's the first of the month. For those who are new to the channel, I try to do a market watch video on the first of every month and also the 15th in the middle of the month. That was by popular demand, by popular request, and we are going to start doing that on the channel. Spoiler warning, for the next week on this channel, we will be going over all of the OP09 cards. OP09. I've already gone over OP08. I can link that in the comment section below if you're interested. You know, if you're not caught up on all the cards coming out in literally 1 week from now for pre-release. I have a whole entire OP08 set review. I will link that in the comment section below. I will also have a draft guide to link down there if you have not seen that yet. I've already done that. But whenever a new set is released in the East, they're exactly one set ahead of us in the West. Whenever a new set is released in the East, I always try to get us caught up right then, right there. So that way, number one, you know, we finish that set out where we know what all to expect. And number two, when the results start pouring in and we start seeing all these new cards popping up, people talking about them at locals, we actually know what's going on, right? We don't get too far behind. We gotta stay caught up. Okay. So just to give you guys a heads up, like I said, today we're going to be doing a market watch, and then the next 7 days on this channel, not 6. I know there's only 6 colors. I'm going to do a color each day, but the first day I'm going to go over the leaders. And in the leaders list tomorrow, which will be tomorrow at the time you're recording this video, tomorrow I will have a an updated prediction tier list. Okay, it will just be a prediction, but that will probably be at the end of, you know, me going over all of the different leaders and where I predict them to be in OP09. Okay, guys? All right. I know that's a little confusing. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to put them down in the comment section below. Let's do this, guys. Let's get straight into it. Today's entire video is going to be completely dedicated and focused on the market watch. And then we're going to start off on TCGplayer.com, where you can see in the background right now. We're going to look at a bunch of individual card prices, and then we're going to head over to LimitlessTCG and see what decks are costing. Like an entire deck, if you were to buy it card for card, what it will cost, you know, straight from the site, so to speak. That's really good for the newer players who are trying to get into the game. If you're trying to find a really cheap price point to get into the game with, you'll be able to see like, oh, this deck doesn't cost much, or this deck's within my budget, and things like that. Okay, and then from there, we will have one game on the sim. No lab today, guys. No art critique. We got too much to talk about. But you know, we will have one game on the sim. It'll be a fun game of green-black Issho, OP08 Issho, versus a ST01 Luffy. Okay, ST01 red starter deck Luffy. That will be a lot of fun. And then we'll wrap up the video showing the deck list and all that good stuff. All right, guys, you know what you get into. I'll have everything time-stamped down in the general description, and I'll have all relevant links down in the comment section along with the deck list for the day. All right, let's do it, guys. Let's get into this. First up is Gordon. I missed this on the last one, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't even miss it. I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to cover this because Red Purple Law is going to be banned soon. And I guess that's not exactly 100% true. How do you say it? Red Purple Law is going to be replaced by a whole nother promo style leader, right? So it just simply won't be the same as it used to be. I'm not going to talk about that in today's video. It's just that deck is pretty much going to be banned. Okay, Red Purple Law will probably cease to exist unless someone can learn or find a way to break the new promo one coming out, and good luck with that. Just saying. All right, so Gordon has gone way down, of course, because of that. This was a card that was sitting around $40 for a very long time because Red Purple Law was considered an S tier deck, and in OP08, it was a 0 tier deck. Some people were saying Lucci could battle against it and hold its own, but still, when only one deck can compete against you in the format, that's not a good look, right? That's not a good feeling. But it happens. It does happen, and Bandai has decided to just drop the hammer, and Red Purple Law is banned. So Gordon has gone way down in price because of that. Look at it, guys. It was at $40. It's down to about $5 a card now. Honestly, guys, it might go down lower and lower and lower and lower. I'm just saying, if you're trying to get a playset of these just to collect on your own, you might be able to wait out a little bit longer, guys, because once Red Purple Law is completely gone, which I think is September 6th, so in literally 5 days, I don't foresee this card staying at a very high price point, but you never know because of the promo rarity of the card. It's not a common, even though it looks like a common border or a rare. It's not. It's a promo card. So I'm not 100% certain on how low this card will go or if it will stay where it's at. But generally speaking, it should go down in price because soon it probably won't see any play at all. Because even if you're thinking like, yeah, but what if you're running it in a film deck? Raise Max is also film. For those who are not aware, there was a card that came out. Let me type in Max Raise or Raise Max. I always get it backwards. Yeah, see, here's the card right here that basically just straight up replaces it, and it's also Revo Army. 10 cents for this card. It's an uncommon from OP06. Okay, so now, so Gordon has gone way down in price. That's a good thing. Kid and Killer is still sitting at a pretty healthy $4 a card, guys. This is one of those rares, guys. This is a rare. This is not a super rare. This is not a secret. It is just a rare. This is probably one of the best rares in the game. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's fair to say that. It depends on the color you're playing, obviously. But this is one of those cards that is just very high value. It didn't get hit with any ban hammer in the most recent, bans and restrictions list. I'm not saying it should have. I'm just saying, like, it didn't get hit with any kind of ban or restriction. So this card should be good for a very long time, right? So if you don't have your play sets of your play set of Kid and Killer yet, $4 is probably not the craziest price you'll ever see for this card. Because guys, look at this. We've already seen it up to $5. It's probably going to sit around this $3 to $4 range for a while, and that's all I'm going to say. I can't make a perfect prediction on this one, judging by all of the common trends we've seen from the past 6 months here, guys. Look, okay, this was like pre-release. Pre-release prices are crazy, guys, obviously. But look at this. It just sat at $3, $4, $4, $3, $4. It's just sitting right there, okay? So Kid and Killer, not too crazy, though, guys, for what this card does. And honestly, it depends on the deck you're running. But I think you can run this as a 2 of in a lot of decks, like a 2 or 3 of. So $12 for like a pseudo playset, you're probably fine. Okay, Marco has gone way down in price. Last week, guys, or well, excuse me, last Market Watch video I did, this card went straight up to like $20 or something ridiculous. I don't even know how to explain it. Let me see if it'll go over a 1 month. Yeah, here we go. It went all the way up to like $17, $18, I think, but it looks like nothing sold until it was down to $15. But still, this price went so crazy, I couldn't believe it. However, now it has gone down in price. It is back down to about $8. Because I will say this. Yes, this is an SR. This is a super rare. But at the same time, this card's not exactly running away with the format currently. We'll have to see what happens in the future, But according to all recent signs, or like however you say, like from all the stuff we've seen so far, comparing all the current data we have, I don't see this card just popping off, and doing incredible where you need a full play set in every red deck you run. Again, not to say it's a bad card. This is a very good card. And if you're trying to play Red Blue Marco, hopefully you already picked these up when they were cheaper, down to like the $8 range. But look at this, guys. If we go 6 months out, the cheapest card this card ever was about $6. You see this, guys? I don't know if you can see the resolution here. But this card was about as cheap as $6. You know what I mean? So that's $5 to $6 is probably the cheapest this thing went in the past 6 months. So getting it for $7, I don't know if it's going to go down, but that's probably not the worst price to get this card at, especially if you're playing if you plan on playing what's it called, Whitebeard Pirates of any kind, like the new Red Blue Marco coming out in OP08. All right. Ace has gone down in price as well. This one it kind of went up a little bit to like $7, a few weeks ago. But now it's kind of settled down. I think this card's going to sit on like $5, guys. That's where I kind of see this card sitting at. This is another card where I don't think you need a full play set. I think it's good as like a 2 to 3 of, and you're good to go. Now, sure, if you can get 4, get them, right? If you have the financial means, guys. I forgot to preface this video, guys. If you're going to a tournament, don't listen to anything I'm saying, okay? Buy cards when you need to buy the cards. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you when to buy these cards. We're just going to look at the prices together. I'm going to tell you whether or not I think the cards are going to go up and down in price, what to expect from them. But I've heard people have said like, hey, that's horrible advice to give people to not buy the card now. What if they're about to go to a tournament? Then buy the card. You know what I mean? That supersedes what I'm saying. Like that goes above what I'm saying. If you're about to go to a tournament, yes, you need to buy whatever you need to buy for your deck that you think you're going to be able to win the tournament with, because you'll easily be able to pay off the card. I just want to get that out there, guys. Yeah, it's like full disclosure, disclaimer. I'm not saying to not buy cards or to buy cards. It's totally up to you guys. I'm just giving you guys my thoughts on the current prices and tell you what I think is going to happen in the future, judging by how the meta is going to go. And based off that, I don't see like Edward Newgate, the 6 life Edward Newgate leader, or Marco. I don't see them exceeding past A tier, especially seeing what we're gonna, like seeing what's coming out in OP08 and OP09. Like Red Blue Marco, I think does sit around the bottom of A tier, and so does Whitebeard. But I don't see them going much past that. So this card in particular, sitting at $5, it's been there for a while. I don't see it going up in price, but at the same time, I don't see it going that much further down in price either. Okay, next card. Edward Newgate. Now, this has gone up in price, guys. The reason for this, or so I believe, this is just my speculation. Yeah, this is just my opinion. I think there are going to be some very strong red decks coming out in the near future, especially going into OP09. But now that Red Purple Law has been banned, a lot of people have been talking, this has been on the, the word on the street, right? Word on the street is Red Purple Luffy might actually be able to catch up. It might be able to get some wind in its sails, so to speak. And if that does happen, this is an absolute 4 of in a deck like that. I don't know. Some people might say it's like a 2 or a 3 of. It depends on how you build your list. I could see it going either way. But I like 4 of these in my Red Purple Luffy deck. But I think I have gone down as far as like 2 and 3 of these. It really just depends. The point is, this is a very strong card. If you're planning on building anything tall, going into whatever format, it's hard to beat a card that is this generically strong. Okay? All right, so this card, 15, 16 bucks. I don't see it going much lower than this, but it's possible. I also couldn't see it going much higher than this. But who knows, guys? We're about to get to what is it, OP04, or excuse me, it's OP05 Sabo. That's a card I didn't see going as high as it got, and it was just a super rare, just like an SR, just like Edward Newgate. So you never know, guys. Keep your eye on this card if you're really thinking about getting it soon, because if you start seeing it go up and up and up, it might be the time to pull on getting it, because who knows how high it will go or how low it will go. We have no idea. Okay, next up is Nami. This has gone up in price, and I did expect it to go up a little tiny bit. Hopefully it doesn't go up much more than $9 or $10, though. But that's where it's at right now, is like the $9 to $10 range. If you are planning on playing film in the long run, if film is like the thing you're trying to play, it's what you've been having, it's what you've had your eye on, I would probably scoop these up now just to be safe, because it's under $10 for an SR. I know that's not great, that's not ideal, but at the same time, it could go up even higher. And then what are you going to do? You know what I mean? That just, you don't want to lose the opportunity, right, guys? And it does happen. It does happen. Cavendish, this card is still outrageously too expensive in my opinion. I'm sorry, guys. I get it. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Look at the market on this. This is selling about 100 to 150 items every single day. Hopefully y'all can see. Like, I don't know how good the resolution will come out for it. 81 items sold on this 3-day period. 77, 96. What was that? 116, 119, 89, 101, 66. This card is selling like hotcakes, and I can't believe it. I literally can. I'm like actually in a state of disbelief. I mean, I get that this is a good card. Don't get me wrong. People will misunderstand me. People try to misunderstand me sometimes. It's actually very annoying. It's like they actively try to misunderstand me. I know this card is good. That's not my issue with it. It's the fact that this is an SR and it costs this much money. That's my issue. I get it. It's a great 4 of in any kind of green deck that is Supernova, obviously. But guys, this price point, I personally will not be buying at this. If it keeps going up and you really want them, you need to make your own decision, guys. That's all I'm going to say. It would have been nice to snag these down here when they were $8. I'm right there with you. But man, this card has gone out of control in my opinion. I literally can't believe how expensive it is. Now, fortunately for me, I don't play green at all. Maybe that's why. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm playing a green deck today on the sim, right? Like, we're going to see that at the end of this video. But generally speaking, green's not like one of my main colors. And because I even had the same problem with Brook, by the way, guys. We're going to look at Brook when we get to the black cards. Notice I'm going in color order. Cavendish and Brook all came out in that EB01 set. And I think these cards are just outrageously too expensive from there. I don't know what happened. I get it. I get it that it's like a special extra booster. It's almost like a collector set almost. Not literally. Don't quote me on that. I'm saying it's almost like that. But the price is too high. I'm sorry, guys. I hope it goes down. I'm waiting for it to go down because I am not buying this card. Especially, guys, Be careful buying this if you're trying to play for the long game. We don't know how the meta is going to shape up just yet, but who's to say green is even going to do very well in the OP08 meta? Like, that would be my biggest concern, right? I mean, how good is it even doing in the current meta? It's doing okay, by the way. Bonnie's doing pretty well right now. But in OP08 and then going into OP09, I always try to make purchases based on the long term, right? That's always something I'm trying to focus on. And for this card, guys, I mean, this card will be good in the long term, but how good will green be in general? You know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, this card can be as good as it needs to be, but if green can't compete, or specifically a supernova deck cannot compete, then we're in trouble, right? Then we're in a little bit of trouble buying this card out at this price. But as usual, guys, you have to make your own decisions, guys. You're the ones you're responsible for your own checkbook, for your own wallet, however you want to say it. Buy accordingly. Next up, Eustace Kid. This has gone down in price. I'm very happy to see this. Ever since this was announced that it would be reprinted in the new PRB01 set coming out, I think next month. I'm trying to think, guys. I don't know off the top of my head. It's coming out in a month or two for us over here in the West, guys. That's how close it is. Someone correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong, if I'm wrong or off on that. But down to $15. Like this, I get it. Okay, this card. The reason this card was so expensive, it's the same rarity as the Cavendish, by the way, guys. Notice they're both super rares. But here's the thing. Number one, this card is not locked to any leader. Number two, this card pretty much single-handedly wins you games. I'm not going to lie. Like, in certain matchups, not all of them, not all. Certain matchups, this just strictly locks your opponent out of the game. And number three, this was an OP01 super rare. So the amount of quantity of these cards that came out was extremely low compared to what we have now, with the game growing and growing and growing. But either way, yeah, I just know someone's going to misunderstand me. I'm not saying this is a bad card, guys, and I know it can also win you games. I just hope people are going to be able to see the difference between what Eustace Captain Kidd does, the 8 cost, and 5 cost Cavendish. Especially with the leader locking type of it, or part of it. Okay, now, next up we have Doflamingo. Oh, just to summarize with Eustace Captain Kidd, the price is going down further and further and further. You might be able to hold off on this, guys. If you're trying to get these for like the cheapest amount possible, you might want to watch the market over the next month or so and see what kind of trajectory things are going, like what direction the price is going. If it keeps going down, I'd wait. Unless you absolutely need them, I would wait, guys. I would definitely wait my, be patient. Okay, Doflamingo has been going up in price, it looks like. Not impossible to believe, right? Not the hardest thing to believe. This is one of those SRs that I couldn't believe how cheap it was when it came out. This is another one that I consider like the 8 cost Kidd. It's not leader locked. The effect is insane. It's not leader locked, like I said, and it's a 10 cost 10k, and the typing is not irrelevant either. This is searchable in any kind of 7 Warlords type of green-blue variant like I've been playing with for Zanji. And it's also searchable in any kind of Don Quixote Pirates deck with Baby 5. So I think this is a great card. Picking it up at $6, I wouldn't be too upset about that. Yamato has gone way down in price. I remember telling people I got this card when it was around like $30. I was pretty upset about that. I was like, man, I didn't know if they were going to reprint it or not. And the price went crazy. I got it back when Green Yellow Yamato was looking like it was going to be the best deck in the format. And I still didn't have all my OP01 secret rares. So it was like, oh, man, let me just get these now. I'll bite the bullet. I'll eat it, I'll take it for $30. It is what it is. Sometimes you got to take the L just to be careful so you don't take a massive L later. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. One thing I will say is Bandai has been pretty good about keeping the price down in this game. And we're going to look at that when we get over to the price of the decks in this game, guys. A lot of things are looking pretty good. Okay, so this card being at $15 for a secret rare. Anytime a secret rare, I think I said this in my last video, for a super rare, if it's $5 and under, I'm going to snap buy it. I'm not even going to have to think about it. I'm just going to be like, okay, cool. If I need that card, yeah, it's under $5. I'm just going to take it. For secret rares, my price point is $10 or under, and I automatically buy it. That doesn't mean I won't buy it if it's more than that. It's just that if I see it at under $10 and I need the card, okay, I'm not upset about it. I feel like I got, enough bang for my buck, considering the rarity of the card. $15 though for a secret rare, not not the craziest thing I've ever bought a card for. Like I said, right, guys? Like I just said, I bought this card for like $30 or $35 way back when it went crazy, when Yamato was first released like a year ago, or when they first started showing it. Yeah, I think I got it right around. I didn't get it. Wow, this card went up to like $60, guys. Wow. I think I got it around 33, somewhere around probably December here, around the $35 to $33 mark, or $30 to $35 mark. Good card. It's down to 15 bucks. Look at that, for a full playset currently. You're getting them pretty cheap. Be careful, guys. Notice I just went through all these $5 versions. Look at this, guys. Pay very close attention to where I'm highlighting. These are Japanese versions. You have to be careful when you're buying these. You don't want to get the Japanese ones. Unless you do want to get the Japanese ones. Okay. Zoro has gone up to $20 again. It was going down, 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 right where it should have been, down in the $15 range. $10 range is where it was. That was the direction it was going. But now it has started going back up. It's up to $20. I still stand by what I said, guys. I've got my two of this card. I've got my two card, pseudo playset, as I'm calling them, for Zoro. I'm good to go, man. I don't need any more. And I got them for I think I got them for 13, whatever it was here. I got them for $15 a piece. Again, I don't mind spending $15 on a secret rare, but I prefer when they're around $10. This is an incredibly powerful card, guys. Do not misunderstand me. This card is a game ender, but you don't want to fill your hand with 4 of these where you have 3 dead cards in your hand. That's more about deck building principles. But hey, if you're just trying to get your play set of the card, I totally understand that. Now's it's not the best time to get them. We've seen it go even lower, but now's not the worst time either. I would keep an eye on this price and see if it goes up or down. Doflamingo. This card, I believe, is coming out again in the PRB set. I would try to hold on for this if you can. Let me check something real quick, guys. I'm going to bring it up over here for ST. What is it? 18. No, excuse me. It is 17. ST17. I just want to check something really quickly, guys, so I don't mislead anyone. Yeah, this card right here is coming out in the I already forgot. The ST17 starter deck, which comes out in about a month or two at the time you're recording this video. I would wait on this if you can. If you just have to get it right now to play Dofi because that's all you want to play in your locals, by all means. But just understand, you're about to be able to get this in the starter deck 17 when that comes out in about a month to 2 months away. Just something for you to consider if you're on a financial crunch. If you're trying to crunch the numbers and make sure everything's good financially for you. Okay, same exact thing with this card. This card, Gecko Moria. This is the one that gets a Thriller Bark or 7 Warlords card out of your trash, other than Gecko Moria that costs 4 or less. This card will also be in the starter deck. I would not buy this card for $9, guys. I'm just telling you, I would not personally buy this card for $9 because the starter deck will probably be anywhere from $10 to $15. Excuse me, $10 to $15 depending on where you live. So, pay close attention to that. Sanji is, this one has gone up in price. I think it's just becoming, with this card, guys, I have to say, this is just an incredibly strong secret rare. It's a 9-cost, 9,000 power character, so it's actually pretty well statted and costed so that it's protected against most forms of removal, especially early and mid-game removal. And then it has an on-play effect that's just kind of insane. If you're trying to play Blue-Yellow Queen, which I've heard people talk about Blue-Yellow Queen, guys, another, word on the street, right? The rumor on the street is, no, but I've seen people messing around with Blue-Yellow Queen again. If you're trying to play Blue-Yellow Queen, or if you're trying to play Red-Blue Marco, or, if you're trying to play anything with blue in it, this card has a home there. This is like a boss card that you can just plop down after fixing your top life, or excuse me, the top cards in your deck with card, they have tons of cards that do that. And then you're ready to go. You know what I mean? You're just good to go. So this is a card, if you have not picked up your Sanjis, guys, I try to tell people to get it when it was under $10. It was under $10 for a good, 2 months, maybe, about 2 months. It's going up to $13. I would try to get your play set. And when it comes to, I just kind of made up this term in today's video, but this, pseudo play set. So in other words, when I say pseudo play set, a normal play set of a card is 4, right? Certain cards you just don't need 4 of in your deck. So to get a pseudo playset of 2 or 3 of them, this card, I would say a pseudo playset of this card is 3 of them. You know what I mean? By the way, I'm going to have the same opinion on Roger, Goldie Roger, when that comes out in OP09. That is just going to be a 2 of in every single red deck you build from here onward, unless you have something so specific in mind. Okay, but not a bad price, though, for this card, guys, for Sanji. Queen has been going down in price, guys. It kind of spiked up a little bit, probably before some kind of big tournament, and now it's gone back down. It's around the $12 to $13 range currently, $14, maybe $15. This will go down in price, guys. I can almost guarantee it. I can't promise it, but this card will be coming out in PRB01. It will be reprinted in 3 different rarities, like the normal, the SR border, and then the alt art version. So this card should continue to go down in price. It's one where I would buy with caution because it could be a lot cheaper very soon. Vinsmoke Reiju, $5 for this card. I've said it before, guys. Any kind of SR that's $5 and under, I'm not going to have to make up a big decision on this. I'm just going to snap by it. And this card is an incredibly powerful card. It is a card you absolutely need going forward in most purple decks, I think, except for the Straw Hat stuff. I'm not going to get into that in this video. Just know that this Reiju card is extremely powerful, guys. It's extremely good. Pause and read it if you don't know what it does. And if you plan on playing Reiju, the actual blue-purple leader Reiju, you have to have this card. I don't like saying you have to have a card very often, but you have to have this card if you're trying to play Blurple Reiju with the Vinsmoke package, the Germa 66 package. Okay, next up is Eustace Kid. This has gone way down in price. Look at this, guys. It was sitting around $5. It was never insane in cost, but it's gone all the way down to like under $2. Really good stuff. It's a super rare. We'll take that every single time. And it's still a great card, guys. Even though Red Purple Law is going to be gone. Hang on. There is going to be some new support coming out for Red Purple Kid in OP09. If you do not have your playset of this card, you might want to get it soon. Okay? I'm just trying to say, I don't know how good that deck's going to be. I'm not saying it's going to be S tier. But if you're interested in making Red Purple Kid work, number one, you probably already have this card, right? But still, if you're interested in messing around with that deck in the future and you don't have your full playset, now's the time to snag this card. It's extremely cheap. I would not feel bad about buying these for $2. Okay. Did I? Yeah. Okay. Sanji. This is a purple Straw Hat card. It's pretty much an auto buy currently, and it's been $5 and under for how long now? What, about 2 months since it's been out? 3 months since it's been out? I would snag this card as soon as you can if you do not already have it, especially if you're interested in going purple Straw Hat crew in the future. And let me tell you something right now, guys. The future is looking very bright for purple Straw Hat crew, starting at ST18, which is coming out in the middle of OP08 for us. And then all the way into OP09, there's a whole nother purple-black Straw Hat crew leader. Looks very promising. So if you do not have your playset of this card, I would probably snag it sooner rather than later. It might go down further in price. Who knows? Who knows? I just wouldn't take the chance because, like I said, I think this might... Okay, let me say this. Let me say it like this. I think purple Straw Hat crew has a very promising future, and I'm just going to leave it there. Bon Carré has gone up a little bit. He had dipped down to like almost $20. Whoops, let me move this. Well, I guess around $25. So he hasn't gone up much, actually. I take that back. I thought he had dipped down to $20. But no, he's sitting around $25 to $29, you know, anywhere between the $25 and $27 range, I guess. Not the worst thing in the world. This card's very powerful. I will say this, though. I think people thought this one was going to be more used than it was. Because even Red Purple Law was actually not always using this card. Some people were favoring Ein over this card, even though you lose a 1k counter, because you get a 4-cost 5k, you know, like, strong body that also ramps it on. So, like, into the mirror match, it ended up being better in some cases than Ein. Than Bon Carré. Ein did. Okay. Not too bad, though. This is a secret rare, and it is very powerful, and this card has... no signal. There's no reason to think this card will become worse over time. It is a 4-cost with a 1k counter on it, 1000 power that can match another power on the board, and it ramps it on. So there is no real downside to the card. And it's a secret rarity. Then the last one for purple here, we got Monkey D. Luffy. Remember what I just said, guys. Purple, black, Straw Hats might be a thing in the very near future. If you do not have your playset of this card right here, I personally would snag it. It's under $10. It's a secret rare. And like I said, guys, it looks... And see, okay, now we have to go back. We have to talk a little bit about how Cavendish's price is and some of these other cards, these super rares. It's like, how are they so much more expensive? Like double the cost of this card. When Cavendish, yeah, it might be a 4 of, but in a lot of decks that are purple, so is this. Like, you know, red purple Luffy probably runs as like a 2 or a 3 of, at least. I'm saying at least. And then the new purple black Luffy coming out, probably running 3 of these as well, 3 or 4 maybe. And then the mono purple ST18 purple starter deck Luffy, which is the original OP05 Luffy. It's going to run a few of these as well. So it's like, okay, this is going to be used against used across 3 different decks. And it's under $10 for a secret rarity. So it's a rarity higher than Cavendish. But hey, I don't get it. I'm not going to pretend to. Look at this, guys. It's still selling like 60 to 70, up to 150 copies at a time. I'd snag these now, guys. If I were you, if you're trying to play Purple Straw Hat Crew in the future, that's just me. I wouldn't take my chances. I don't see this going much lower than $10 in the near future. Okay. Here's another one. Again, I don't understand it, and black is my main color. Lucci just got nerfed into the ground, and this is one of the cards that will suffer the most from it. Because one of the greatest things you could do with this card, there were plenty of things you could combo with it, but like starting off the game was like, okay, plop this down and get rid of their so okay, we'll go first, right? Okay, turn 1 we pass. Turn 1 for them, they play out a 1-cost blocker or something, or not a 1-cost blocker, a 1-cost searcher, right? Or even a 2-cost searcher, didn't matter because we can swing in for with our leader to do it. Hang on, I'm getting ahead of myself. So now it's back to our turn, right? They played out a 1-cost or 2-cost searcher. Now it's our turn. We swing with our leader to -1 to it if it was a 2-cost, and then we plop down Brook and get rid of it. Okay? Then the next turn, they follow up with like a really strong 4-cost, right? Okay, then we play out the stage late since we were on the odd curve. -2, swing with the leader, swing with this guy, pop their 4-cost. And like that's not going to be an option anymore because the stage will be gone in like 5 days. You know what I mean? So I don't understand how this card is still so high in price. And a lot of people weren't even running this card as a 4 of. A lot of people were, but a lot of people were not running this card as a 4 of. I'm hoping this gets to like under $10 very soon. Same thing with Cavendish. I want to see that card sit around the $10 range because again, I know it's powerful, but I want to see some kind of like, you know, financial balance as well. Okay. Next up, we got Borsellino. This will be reprinted very soon in the PRB01. This should continue to drop down in price. It's around $6 right now. Wait. Sorry, guys. Just kidding. That was for the Japanese cards. Look at that. Be careful, guys. These Japanese cards will trick you. Japanese version, Japanese, and so on. For the actual, the English translation version is around $18 to $20. Okay, so we got to be careful about that. Always make sure you read the card, you know, fully before you hit this add to cart or purchase. Okay, good stuff. This is an incredible blocker, but I think this is going to go down in price pretty drastically once it comes out in the PRB01 set. I personally would not pick up this card currently unless you absolutely have to. It's up to you. Sabo, $30. The reason this card is so expensive as an SR is because it is not in the PRB01 set. Whose idea was that? I have absolutely no idea. It wasn't my idea. It wasn't my call, but here we are, guys. I have 2 extra Sabos just laying around. It looks like I'm about to start trading mine because $30 for this card is outrageous. Looks like I'm about to get my Cavendish. You know what I mean? Because that's one thing I will say too. I don't ever mind trading card for card value because you're trading cardboard for cardboard. I have like an ethical issue with me just spending $100 on a card or $50 on a card, and I don't judge anyone who does. I just refuse to do it because I feel like it helps drive down the market by default. You know what I mean? Like, think of it like this. I know this is like utopian mentality. Like, it's almost like hive mind mentality is what I'm trying to say. But if everyone, excuse me, guys, excuse me, my throat. If everyone had the same philosophy as me on this, no SR would ever go for over $5 because no one would buy it. You know what I mean? And then secret rares would never go over. Secret rares would probably get into the $10 to $15 range, but after that, I don't think anybody would buy it. It's just one of those situations. But I know, again, I'm not saying that can happen. That's just more like if we somehow were all like hive-minded together, we could make things happen in that way. Because we decide the prices of the market, guys. Like that's something I really want to stress to everybody. If a card is too expensive, just don't buy it. You know, just don't buy it. It is what it is. And I know some people are like, yeah, but I really want to play that deck, and I totally understand that. You buy what you want to. I'm not trying to tell you what to buy. I was just telling you, you know, you do what you want with your money. Okay? All right. This card is expensive, and I don't know if it's going down in price anytime soon. It's spiked up to around a $33 point right here. Look at that. 126 items sold from $28 to $45. Like, this card is selling like crazy, guys, at 100 items at a time per 3 days. You know, anywhere from the $27 range to the $40 range. That's wild to me. That's outrageous. Hopefully they reprint this soon. I would love to see that. And like I said, Bandai's been doing pretty good about checking, like, oh wait, you know, this card's getting too expensive. Let's feature it as like a card coming out in a PRB set or something like that. Let's print out an alt art for it and things like that. So hopefully they get on it. I'm just going to say one thing. I don't know how this card was skipped in the PRB01 set, because that stands for Premium Booster The Best. Okay, the set's called The Best, as in the first, I think it was the first 5 or 6 sets. It was the best cards from there. How was this card not included? And I'm sorry, guys. Earlier I said this was from OP05. It's from OP04. My apologies. Okay, be careful buying this, guys. Buy at your own discretion. Issho, guys, this card has been trending upward. Okay, it's been going up and up and up and up and up in price. When this card first came out, it was like probably $2. Let me see something. Look at this, $1. Back when I bought this card, this is how expensive it was. It was $1 a card, or it might have been around the $2 mark for a card. Now, look at this. It started seeing more and more play. It's selling for $5 a card now. It's an SR. It's a super rare from OP03. Getting it now might not be a bad time to get it, but at the same time, let me see if I can. Let me check something real quick, guys. For PRB01, I don't think Issho's in this one. I will check real quick. Yeah, I don't believe, unless I just spelled this wrong, I don't believe Issho's in PRB01, guys. I'll do one more thing to check because I have it on my other monitor. Just bear with me for a second. Yeah, for all the Navy stuff, we're getting like Kuzan, Borsalino's coming out again, Sakazuki, Suru, Ice Age, the 10-cost Kuzan, brand new, Virgo, the 2K counter, some other random stuff. Okay, let me keep going. This is like not even Navy anymore. Yeah, it's not in the PRB01, guys. So now might not be the worst time to snag this card unless you just don't care to ever play any kind of, you know, Black Navy package or anything like that. Gecko Moria is around the $8 point, and this will be reprinted in PRB01, so by all means, honestly, you can snag these now. I don't think $7 is unheard of. Like, I don't think $7 or $8, like it says here, is really that bad. Again, unless you just don't plan on playing black, or you already have your playset, obviously. I think it will go down further in price. I think this might even go down to like the $5, $6 range, or maybe even cheaper than that when it gets released in PRB01. But for what this card does, it's practically a secret rare, guys. Like, for what it does, like the power level of it, getting it for $7, and if black is the main color of cards you plan on playing, yeah, snag it. You can absolutely snag this and not even feel bad about it for under $10. Sabo, I predicted this would go down. This is a 1 or 2 of. Like, back to the pseudo playset idea, this is a 1 or 2 of. Who knows, in the future there might be a Revo Army version, you know, that comes out, or a Revo Army leader and deck that comes out that has black that runs this as a 4 of. Maybe, who knows, that's for the future, right? But getting this card around the $7 mark for a secret rare, 8 cost 9K that pops 2 bodies, I don't see the issue. I think this card's fine. And it looks like it's actually closer to $8 to be fair, guys. This thing says like there's 1 at $7. Looks like it's actually closer to $8, and that seems pretty fair to me. Okay. Flampe has also gone down a little bit in price. Look, it peaked up to $8, guys. $7 or $8 up here somewhere. So that's crazy. I guess closer to 7, but still. Now it's down to 5 and going down a little bit. Actually, it's still like $5 or $6. I'm not gonna lie, guys. That's man, that is just crazy. Incredible card. Not saying it's a bad card. Never misunderstand when I say a price is crazy. It's not about how good the card is. It's just, you know, the rarity. I'm always taking the rarity into consideration. But look at this, guys. To talk about buys, 150, 200, 160, 228, 190 items sold. And these are over 3-day periods, okay? Or 3 or 4-day periods, whatever it is. So the card is selling like crazy. That is a set price for it. You can expect it to stay there probably for a little bit. Okay, next up is Hiyori. This has also gone down in price, which I'm very happy to see. This one was sitting around the $15 to $20 range. This was almost like the Cavendish for OP06 for a while. And same thing with Gecko Moria. We're like, oh man, this card's so expensive. But those both went down and down and down in price. However, the thing that needs to be said is Gecko and I believe Hiyori are both going to be reprinted in PRB01. Let me check for Hiyori real quick. I'm 99% sure. Yeah, I'm 100% sure Hiyori will be in PRB01. Okay, guys, I just checked. So the price might go down even further. Okay, something to keep an eye on. Sanji, this is just a great card. This one's not really expensive, but I always keep an eye on this one. It's one of those cards where it's like, look at this. It like peaked up to like, hang on, let me go a year out. Okay, not the pre-release date. Yeah, it peaked up to like $9, $10, $11, $12. And look at this. It was selling like crazy, guys. But it has slowly but steadily gone down over time. And it's down to like $3 now for a card. $2 to $3 for the card. Not too bad. Great time to pick these up if you're interested in switching over to yellow soon, or if you just want to try this card out. Luffy, this is the 5 cost 6K. They call it Rocket Boots Luffy is what a lot of people call it at locals and stuff and online. This card's been selling like crazy. Look at this, 200 to 300 items sold like in the every 3 to 4 day increment. $6, not bad. This card is very strong. If you plan on playing yellow in the future, this is a card that will just continuously be a solid card. All right, they got 34 here, guys. Look at that, selling at $6 a piece. That's crazy. Really good, really solid price for this. I think it might even go down more and more over time. I'm not sure. It's hard to say. But this is this is OP07. This card is. We're about to go into OP08, so I think there are quite a few of these. I can't even talk right now, guys. Quite a few of these floating around in the market. 157 listings, as low as $6. Good stuff. Okay, next up is Yamato or Yamato. I always say Yamato. I don't know what it is. I think it's technically pronounced Yamato, but I always do that. It must be like some type of like Western thing. I don't know. But check this out, guys. $8 or $9. This thing has been going up. I know that I said to buy this card all the way back here when it was $2 to $3. When this card was printed, I said you need to buy this card. It's just an incredible card. It's just an incredibly good card. It does so much. It goes the distance, guys. Let me just say it like that. This card is extremely solid. And look at this, guys. On the day of release, well, way back in September, let me say, like right around the time this card was released, almost 1,000 copies of this card sold in like I guess that's like a 6-day period. It says like September 18th through the 24th. So technically, it's actually probably like a 7 or 8 day period if you think about it. It depends on how they do the hours for those days and whatnot, but you know what I mean. That thing sold like crazy, and then it's just been selling pretty consistently after that, And these are like, because I have it sorted by year, it does like 6 to 7 day gaps. Still, really good card, really strong. This is worth getting. I think at $7, it's still worth getting because if you're planning on playing yellow or any kind of Land of Wano stuff, this is your boss. This is one of your boss characters. Okay, Katakuri. We're almost done, guys. We got 2 more. Check this out, guys. Katakuri. Whoa, what's this? Katakuri under $40? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what we want to see. Keep on going down, too. Like, keep on going. And this one absolutely should go down, by the way, because this one, I always try to check to be 100% certain with you guys. I never want to mislead anyone. Yep, Katakuri will be reprinted. Katakuri will be reprinted in PRB01. Okay? And I think one of the reasons this has gone so far down in price is I think a lot of people expected Enel to do very good in this meta we're in, but probably not. Not as well as people thought it did not perform as well as people thought it would, though. And let's look forward. Remember, whenever you're making these purchases, try to look as far forward into the future as you can. There's a new deck coming out in OP09 by the name of Blackbeard, or well, I guess Marshall D. Teach. That'll be the name of it. And yeah, it really hurts on play decks. Decks that have all these different on play effects, it just shuts them down. Just straight up shuts them down. So really good stuff there. That's probably having a lot to do with driving down the price. But on top of all that, this card is going down. So now I do expect this to go down even further very soon, guys. So keep your eye on this market here, that it keeps going down. Because like I said, in PRB01, we're getting it again. Okay, last one I have on here is Ace. This one has sat around $20 for a little bit now, $20 to $25. Even cheaper than Bon Carré, which is surprising to me. But this card is solid, guys. Not the worst time to pick up your playset of this card. I'm just going to be honest. If you don't have your playset, getting these for $20 a card, not a bad time to get these. Okay, we're done with the market watch. That was a lot of talking. That was a lot of numbers. But now we're going to move over to Limitless. We're going to hop over to LimitlessTCG and check out how much entire decks are costing now. We're not looking at Red Purple Law, and we are not looking at Blue Black Sakazuki, because guys, those are gone. Those are completely gone now, starting next week. Okay, you know, Sakazuki's already been gone, but you guys know what I mean. Okay, so we're just going to go straight down the list, guys. First up is Moria. We're going to look at like the highest placing list in OP07. Here's a first place list, and we'll go off this one. Okay, this is a $325 or $330 list. I'm gonna round every time, guys. And the whole reason is this card right here and the Borsalino. So the 4 Sabos and the 4 Borsalinos is 2/3 of the deck's price, pretty much, roughly, almost 2/3 of the deck's price. It is what it is. And this one's also running 4 Hinas. That's pretty interesting. I will look at a few more lists, like these other 2 4th place lists, just to see. This one's down to $302, and this one is down. This one's $312. So around the $300 to $325 range, not unheard of. And it has to do with the cards I was just saying. Like a Gecko, okay, 4 of these at $33. I think we can deal with that. But look at this, guys. Sabo, $115 for 4 of these. Borsalino for 4 of these, it's $60, and then the Hinas are still very pricey. So good stuff there, but still not the craziest price out there. But this is going to be one of the more expensive decks we see today, guys. Okay, so that was Gecko Moria. Lucci, we do need to take a second to look at this, because I think this will still be good going into OP08, even though we're losing the stage. So here is a first place list down here. We'll look at real quick. About $200, so a whole $100 cheaper than what's it called, Gecko Moria, and it's still running 3 Sabos, guys. And it's running 2 Brooks, but it's not running any Borsalinos, it looks like. Let me see something. We'll look at another list as well. Let's look at this 4th place list. This one's $250, because I bet it's running, 3 Borsalinos. That's the whole entire difference. Here's a 3rd place list. $214, no Borsalinos. So it comes down to if you want to run the Borsalinos or not, because as you can see, guys, we just went through 2 lists that they're all like top 8 lists at major tournaments. And some are running Borsalinos, some are not. So if you're trying to be more budget, no problem. You can just skip out on the Borsalinos. All right, let's keep going, guys. I'm going to try to pick up the pace because this is starting to run. This video is starting to run long. Here is a OP07 first place list for Black Yellow Luffy, right under $250. Again, it's all about this Sabo, guys. That's half this deck's price is Sabo. Literally half the deck's price is Sabo. So you know, if you already have this card, this will be extremely cheap for you. This deck right here will be like $100 for the whole deck. Okay, let's keep going. All right, so that was Black Yellow Luffy, and Nell's going to be one of the pricier ones as well still, but check this out, guys. Remember what we just saw with the price? Look at this, Katakuri now being at $40 a card. Remember, it used to be like $60, $70, $80, it depends, you know, when you look, but this card's down to $40 a card, so $160 for a playset. Now the price of vanilla is under $400 easily. Right? And it's like, and hopefully it keeps going down further and further and further, because look at this, guys. This is half of the deck's cost. Half the deck costs your Katakuris. So hopefully that keeps going down further and further. And I do want to show off a list soon that doesn't even run Katakuri for Enel. That's actually just really solid. It's like a pure Sky Island version. I'm not saying it's the best version out there, but if you're trying to play it on a budget, we're going to save that for another video. And I shouldn't say budget, because the other, like, almost 1/3 of this deck is Port Gastiers. So, you know, and that is in the version that I'm running. So it is what it is. We'll talk about that more later, like I said. Okay. So that's Enel. Let's go to Green Bonnie here. Jewelry Bonnie. Here's a second place list. Here we go. This one, $200. Not bad. And look at this. Almost half the price is just the Cavendish. So, again, you know, if you only... Say you only have, like, 1 or 2 Cavendish... This thing goes down like $40. It goes to about $150. So not the worst thing in the world. And yeah, this is just a solid list. And this one's actually running 2 Zoros, which I'm not saying you shouldn't. I've always said 1 to 2 Zoros. It makes the most sense to me. That works. Very solid. Let's look at one more list. We'll go up to like the sixth place list right here. This one's $175 because they're not running any Zoros. They're not running any of the Zoros. And they are running the 4 Cavendish. So the Eustace Kids and the Cavendish are stacking up a little bit the price of the deck, but that's about it. Not bad at all, though. Like, pretty affordable, all things considered, for a top-tier list that has, like, nothing pulled from it. Just a straight-up for all the, you know, for the whole entire package of this deck list, not having a single card and just buying them all as singles. Under $200, I'm not too upset about that price. That one I can deal with. I'm not a big fan of when they get into the 250 plus range, 250 to 300 plus range. That's when I start to kind of complain a little bit, just because I don't want to see the game get to that point. Right here, let's go to the first place. This was a first place Nami list from the Pasadena Regional. Check this out, guys. First place, $55 list. This is cheaper than a lot of Pokemon decks that are top Pokemon decks. Really incredible, and I know this is a very polarizing leader, but you still have to give it credit for what it's doing. It's still like putting in that work, and like it can win games. And I know some people are like, yeah, but a lot of them cheat. Okay, well they don't all cheat. You know what I mean? It's not like every Nami player cheats, guys. There are legitimate good players out there who play it and who do very well with it. $55 for the deck list, it's almost impossible to beat that. Okay, so there's Nami. Green Uda. I think this one's relatively cheap as well. Okay, there are no OP07 deck lists, but we'll at least look at the OP06 one. $125 basically. Hard to beat that. The most expensive card is this one Zoro they're running, and these 3 Draco Mihawks, which you should have gotten these in your starter deck if you bought the ST12 starter deck. And then of course the Nami, we already looked at that. Okay, not too bad though. Really cheap, all things considered. Now, Doflamingo, guys, this is a deck that will get better and better and better as the game, as we get closer and closer to OP09. And check this out, guys. Let me look at the most recent list here. Here's a third place one. Under $150. We'll take it every single time, guys. We will take this every single time. That is very well priced. Gecko Moria being the most expensive card on here. And remember, guys, this card is coming out again in ST17 or whatever it is. I think it's ST17. So you don't even have to worry about this being even that expensive. Okay, let's keep going. Well, I'll try to go through as many as I can, guys. I'll just pick up the pace. OP06 Whitebeard. This is the most recent one. We'll at least check the price. Under $150. We'll take it every time. The majority of this is going to be between Newgate and Marco. Okay, let's keep going. Perona, green-black Perona. This one can get kind of pricey, actually. Let me look at this 9th place OP07 list. $250. You know, this has Gecko in it. This has the Sabos. It's got Doflamingo has gone up a little bit in price. It's got 2 of the secret rare Sabos as well. But all things considered, not too bad. The 2 Borsalinos help push it up there as well. Okay. Reiju. Ready for this, guys? This list might see a lot of play in OP08 for us over here in the West. It might not. But let's go ahead and look at these prices. Here's a 9th place list right here. $60. Okay, that's what I love to see that. I truly do. I want to see all of our competitive deck lists go under $200, and I will be a happy camper, because I think that shows a very healthy, thriving game, believe it or not. You'd think like, no, you know, the really expensive decks show a thriving game. It's like, not necessarily, because that actually scares off a lot of new players when they see decks that cost all that money. But if a new player comes into the game and they're like, oh, well, how much is it to get into this game? I want to be able to play competitively, but I don't want to spend $200, $300. It's like, no problem. This is a $60 list that can win a tournament, and I'm going to show you guys one more at the very end of this, guys, like a very strong deck list. But hang on for that. And then, like, look at Nami, $55 for a deck list that's won a regional. Okay, so good stuff there. That's Reiju. Let's look at Green Yellow Yamato. Only one came out in OP07 for us, but we'll at least check out what it's running for. $60, guys. Look at this, and look at how clean this list is, guys. Like, this is actually so good. It's just like this NL. It has like a small package of NL, and then it's running Portgosti Ace and Hody Jones as closers, as finishers, and it's just tapping stuff down left and right. It's got, you know, Blaze Slice, Demonic Aura, 9 Sword Style, Asura, Demon, 9 Flash. You know that card. what a great name. But you're just tapping stuff down. You've got Izzos and your Hody Jones, like I said, and you're just running them over. You got plenty of stuff potentially coming out of your life, like with Satori. You've got Frankie, and let's see, Shura, Onami, all kinds of cool stuff. $60 list gets top 24 in a regional. Okay, that's incredible. You know what I mean? That's absolutely incredible. Okay, we're actually going to go through the rest of these, guys. We're doing fine. This is going to end up just being a long video. So OP07, 9th place at a Latin American online treasure cup. Let's check it out. $180 because this one, I bet it's running Katakuri. Oh, it's only running a single Katakuri. Oh, this is a card we didn't look at, guys. I'm sorry. I totally forgot about this one. We're at least going to look at it right now. This card is going for about $13 to $14 a piece, it looks like, on, I believe this is on, hopefully this is on, what's it called? TCGplayer.com. But yeah, this card is still pretty expensive. I forgot to add this one to the list. So this one's running 4 of those, or excuse me, 3 of those. That's putting it around the $40 mark. So 40 bucks extra here, plus another 40 for the 4 tin cost Linlands. This one's gone up in price too, guys. I'm sorry, I forgot to look at these. Let's at least click on it and look real quick. This card's going for about 10 bucks a piece as well, because purple yellow puddings, you know, word on the street. I know I've said that like 3 or 4 times this video, but I think there's some rumors going around on the streets here that purple yellow pudding might be kind of decent, guys. It might be kind of decent now that red purple law's gone. We'll have to see. People are just kind of, you know, like reaction buying or something. It's hard to say, but we'll have to see what happens. It could be good. It might not be. We'll have to see how the meta lays out over here in the West. Okay, but then it is running 1 Katakuri. So if you drop this 1 Katakuri, which I've seen a lot of Katakuri decks do, then all of a sudden you're looking at a $130 list. Like, I just want to show, I think it was this one that got second place. Yeah, this is the one I was thinking of, where it has no Katakuri. And look at this, $135 for the list. We'll take that every single time for a very high-level deck. All right, Purple Luffy. Okay, I didn't expect to see this, but here's a 3rd place OP07 regional. $165. It's running 4 the Kaido. What else? 4 Magellan, 4 Queen. And that's most of the cost of this. So this deck might get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper as we go on. But I do think it will switch over to Straw Hat Crew very soon as ST18 pops out. Okay, let's keep going. Red Green Law. I don't want to spend too much time on this. We'll at least look at this one that got first place on the very first regional of OP07. It's $170 for a very strong list, and it is running 1 Zoro, 3 Cavendish. You know, this is a solid deck list. I love that number 3 for Cavendish. I've said that before. In my mind, 3 is the way to go for this card, and that would, if everyone had the same mentality, of course, it would drive the price down because people wouldn't have to buy so many of them, driving up the price naturally through just, you know, supply and demand issues. But yeah. Chopper, this card's still a little expensive. This was another EB01 card that I forgot to go over, but good stuff otherwise. You know, this is not too bad. $170 for this list, and it was so good that I was able to win a regional in OP07. Okay, red green. Oh, sorry, I just looked at that. Red purple Luffy. This is the one that a lot of people are thinking it might pick up some steam here soon. Notice it has nothing in OP07 yet, but this is kind of what the price is going to go for. The Edward Newgates are $60. The Bon Carrés, it's running 4 of those, and the Queens, it's running 4 of those. So the price should drop down a little bit when the Queen does, but it probably will be around the $250 mark for this deck to buy from scratch, even if the prices go down. Okay, let's keep going. We're almost done now. We're almost done. So that was Luffy. We'll look at Boa. All right, we've got one to look at, so we'll check that one out. $150 for Boa, and it's pretty much just running a full 7 Warlords of the Sea Dofi style deck list with a few differences here and there. We won't go over it too much. Red Green Odin, we always have to look at this. This is the same one we looked at last time. $150 for this list that got top 64 at a regional. Guys, that's with Red Green Odin, guys. That's with Red Green Odin. Just absolutely incredible. And then we got Queen and then Zoro, and we'll finish it off. Now, this last list was from OP06, but we'll still get an idea. $250 because it's running 3 categories, and that's half the price right there. And then last but not least, we got Zoro. OP07, 13th place at a regional online treasure, or excuse me, at an online treasure cup, under $100. Seems good, right? Seems good. We'll take that every time. Now, one more that I do at least want to show, guys. Let me see. Tools, deck builder. This one I've been showing. Let me go to my decks. I got a bunch of random ones on here. This Bello Betty list, guys, it has to be said, this is not like a typo. That's how much the deck costs. Y'all see that? This is a $20 deck list that can kind of just snag wins on people. I don't know how else to say it. I'll have to do a deck list, or excuse me, a Market Watch style deck cost video on Red Yellow Sabo soon. Let me see. I do have a Red Yellow Sabo list randomly in here. Let me see. Well, this says GOAT budget. So this, oh, here we go. Here's like an actual, this was like my original version of Sabo way back when it first came out. This was right when, I think this is right before EB01 hit. So notice there's no Kid and Killers in here. This is right before EB01 hit, I believe. I could be off on that, but look at this. This is this is also a list under $100. Let's look at that GOAT one, the GOAT budget list real quick. $40 for like a Big Mom Pirates version of it, which is not bad. This is a decent version, but it is definitely budget, and it feels way more budget than the other one we just looked at. That was still like $100, you know, under $100 like budget for most people. Okay, we're done. That was the whole Market Watch. We're gonna go check out a game on the sim. We're gonna wrap this up, guys. This video has been going on for so long now. Let me go ahead and put the my camera up here. Let's get the volume off. We'll put the speed on 2x, and we're going to be good to go here. All right. Green-black Issho versus red Luffy. ST01 starter deck Luffy, guys. Notice what's in my hand down there. We got some shenanigans, right? We got some tomfoolery. We got some carrot action going on here. Swing for 5. They have to give me a 2K counter. I play out a Brook. Pass the turn. They play out a Nami. Excuse me. They play out a Zoro. They attach one to Zoro with the leader effect. Attach one to the leader with the Nami effect. And I just need to counter out of one of these, so I'm going to take one, see what I get if I get a better thing to counter out with. I'll 2K counter out of the next one with Perona. And right here, it's like perfect. I'll swing 5 into that and pop your character. Let's see if he wants to save it, because I'll just keep swinging into it. It's like, okay, we'll swing 7 into it then. All right. It goes bye-bye. We play out a blocker. Guys, I have to say, this version of the list I'm running, and I will show it at, right after this game at the end of the video here, it's very defensive. It is a very defensive, controlling deck list with a lot of possibilities, a lot of shenanigans. They're going to go 6 into 4 here. That was the right play, because if they leave Brook on the board, I'm just going to start eating up everything I can. All right, so right here, looks like I get a brand new. I can't decide what I want there. I go with the Issho, but I don't want the Issho either. I'm actually just going to cycle it out. So I use the Sabo first, just in case I hit a jet pistol, and that way my brand new will be safe in case I need it later. Okay, typically you should not swing first, but if you can give your characters protection, then it's fine. Usually. Okay, so we swing there. He takes it. It's going to be his turn. I trashed the Issho and one of my carrots because I have 2 of them. All right, let's see what my opponent does here. They're going to go ahead and play out a Sabo, or excuse me, a Marco, but they can't KO my brand new because of Sabo. That's why I play that card. Very strong card. Okay, so they play out a Buggy. I'm already thinking like, okay, Rebecca, pull back Brook, pop the Buggy, do whatever from there. They're going to swing for 6. I'm going to block it and give them a 1K. I need to use the Rebecca so I can play out my Gecko to get it back. Okay, so I have 6 Dawn this turn, or excuse me, I have 9 Dawn, and I want to swing 6 into here, and I want to swing 6 more into it if he brings it back, which he does. Now I can swing 6 more. Oh, hang on. So I only swung for 5 there. I wonder... Oh, I want to stand up my my Sabo at the end of turn. I was like, why didn't I do that? It makes no sense, but now it does. So I pull back Rebecca. I pull out from the trash with Gecko. I pull Rebecca and Rosinante out. With the Rebecca, I pull out a Brook to pop his 1-cost Buggy, and now it's my opponent's turn. And I stood up my Sabo at the end of my turn. He's going to pop it with a jet pistol. That's fine. That's fine. He's going to swing 7 into 2. He can have that thing. I don't need the Brook. With it eating an attack like that, that's fine. I'm not going to use my my Rosinante effect to save it. He's probably going to go 7 into face. I was actually very surprised by that. We'll go ahead and let that one go through, and now we can block out of this one, and that will allow us to protect our Rosinante. But now our Rosinante got saved there, right? Like, he got protected. So now we get another blocker this turn. So I think he should have gone into the Rosinante personally. I mean, yes, at that point I probably don't lose my Rebecca. I'll just save my Rebecca. But still, I think it's just the right play. So he saves the Marco with another event. This guy's running a very event-heavy version of ST01 Luffy. It seems pretty good. So we'll swing 6 in here. He'll give me a 2K counter. I'm going to go ahead and play out Carrot, lock that down, play out a Borsalino, or maybe a Rebecca, actually, excuse me, and pop the Otama, not taking any chances, and getting another body on the board seems good. He plays out a 9-cost Rush Shanks that cannot be blocked by characters with 2,000 power or less. Well, can't block that. That's going through. Now, I do have a Borsalino in my hand if I need it for next turn, of course, but let's see what happens here. Swing 6 into 5. I'm going to counter out, and then he's just swinging here. I'll give him the Rebecca. I'll let it get KO'd. I'm not going to save it. And now, I'm just going to... He has 1 card left in his hand. So I'm going to go for 12 into 10, and that card's gone, right? There is no 1 card in the game that can save a 2,000 attack over unless you have Dawn active, okay? And he doesn't. So now I'm going to swing 6 into here, locking down his other guy. It's like, okay. I'll swing 6 into it, 6 more into this guy, even though he's tapped. I don't care, and then he's just going to tap out. Yeah, so I had him under full lockdown then, right? Because my next play was going to be Borsalino. It doesn't matter what he draws next turn. It literally doesn't matter. By the way, it's just going to be a Buggy. But even if he gets, like, Diablo Jambe to swing through, I have 1 life left. If he gets, what's his name, 5-cost Rush Luffy, it doesn't matter. We're set. We're good to go. Okay, let's go ahead and check out the deck list, guys. Let me move my face over real quick before I forget. here it is, guys. This is it. This is the deck list. Now, I did get a lot of inspiration from a previous deck list. I got to give a shout out to our guy, Khan. He's a content creator on the channel. This is what the list used to look like. I drew a lot of inspiration from this. Actually, excuse me, this was his original list. This is my modification of this list. I was like, you know, I think I just kind of want to get the stage in. So I mean, I took out, I think I took out 2 Hinas and a, whatever his name is, Laboon. Let me put my glasses back on so I can see. And then I just added the 2 stages. Yeah, and I moved the Kobe's around so I could put in the Helmeppos. So that way, like, almost every card in this deck has a counter on it. Like, there's only 8 bricks in the entire deck, guys. Look at this. Whoops, I didn't mean to hit that. Hit Gecko Moria, Issho, and the Marinefords. That's it. That's the only bricks in the entire deck. So pretty solid. Gets the job done. And that's like I said, that was the slight adjustment I made from his list, which was right here. And then I took this list that I had revised slightly. So again, big shout out to Khan. And I said, you know, let me move this over to OP08, and here's what it came out to. I did quite a bit of moving around, but I think it's for the better for going into OP08. Not saying it's a perfect list. I think it can definitely be improved, but this was feeling okay when I was playtesting it. The carrot is a monster in this list, guys, because it's like lockdown on play, and then when attacking, lockdown, and I'll stand it up in a turn. You're not even going to get to attack it. You know, it's just, I feel like this card has quite a bit of mileage it can get in this deck. It's still running like the whole Brooke, Rebecca, Gecko, Moria package with Helmeppo support, Issho support. The only thing I would like to probably add at this point is, you know, maybe go up. I might even go down like 1 Sabo and maybe 1 Rebecca and maybe 1 Brooke. Sorry, guys, I'm just kind of thinking on the fly here. I'm just kind of improving. Maybe go down 1 Brooke, 1 Rosinante, 1 Sabo, and 1 Rebecca, and go up 4 Ice Age, just to have a little more mileage on my cards like Brooke and, you know, removal cards like T-Bone and things like that. We'll have to see, though. You know, that's for a whole other video. All right, I'm done. That was fun, guys. Hope you all enjoyed that. Please, you know, if you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put them down in the comment section below. Big shout out to everybody on the VV Pirates playmat supporters here. Thank you guys so much for buying the playmat. I hope you're enjoying it. Really good stuff. And then, of course, the patrons, the VV Pirates patron page. Thank you guys so much for supporting the page. These guys are literally just trying to help me succeed by any means necessary. You know what I mean? They're just like donating to help the cause. Thank you guys for everyone who's watching, subscribing, sharing, commenting, just viewing my channel. Whatever it is you're doing, guys. Sharing it, commenting, liking, subscribing, all that stuff. I really do appreciate you guys. All right, I'm done. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, guys, peace.